1 cup of coffee. That's all it took to expose the ugliest truth about privilege in America. An 80-year-old judge, a billionaire's daughter, and a moment that 50 million people couldn't stop watching. But what happened after the coffee hit? That's what changed everything. Her name was Aurelia Bancroft. I am 26 years old, trust fund baby, Porsche 911 in the driveway, and a body count she thought daddy's checkbook could erase. September 14th, 2024. 1:47 in the morning. She's doing 87 in a 35. Drunk. Blood alcohol twice the legal limit. Red light? Doesn't matter when you're invincible, right? Michael Reeves never saw her coming. I am 29 years old. Elementary school music teacher. Driving home from back-to-school night where he'd stayed late, setting up welcome notes for every single kid in his class. Guitar in the back seat. Wedding ring on his finger. 2 babies at home. The impact killed him instantly. And Aurelia Bancroft? She kept driving. Straight to Daddy's mansion, blood still on her hands. Told security to handle it. 47 minutes before anyone called 911. 47 minutes to move the car. Get the lawyers. Build the story. Michael Reeves lay crushed in his Honda, while a billionaire's daughter washed the evidence off her $200,000 sports car. Here's what most people don't know. This wasn't Aurelia's first time. 2017. Hit and run in Miami. Broken leg. Witness, confusion. Case dismissed. 2019. Assaulted a bouncer in Manhattan. Charges filed. Then, a mysterious donation appears. Charges dropped. 2021. DUI in the Hamptons. Hit a cyclist. Shattered pelvis. Internal bleeding. $500,000 settlement. Signed NDA. No charges. 3 times. 3 victims. 3 times daddy's money made it disappear. But Michael Reeves couldn't sign an NDA. Because Michael Reeves was dead. Judge Frank Caprio. 40 years on the bench. Providence, Rhode Island. Known for compassion. Known for giving people second chances. But what he saw in his courtroom that day tested every ounce of that compassion. Aurelia stood at the defense table in designer clothes, arms crossed, sighing, while the prosecutor read the charges: vehicular manslaughter, DUI causing death, fleeing the scene. And then Elena Reeves stood up, Michael's widow, 28 years old, holding a photograph like it was the only thing keeping her standing. My daughter Sophie is 3. Every night she asks when Daddy's coming home from his trip. She doesn't understand he's never coming home. My son Marcus was 7 months old. He's 14 months now. He'll never hear his father's voice. The courtroom was silent. Everyone except Aurelia. She rolled her eyes. Actually rolled her eyes while a widow talked about explaining death to a 3-year-old. Judge Caprio asked her directly, "Do you have anything to say to Mrs. Reeves?" Aurelia sighed, dramatically, like this was all so incredibly inconvenient. "I've said I'm sorry. What else do people want from me?" Elena's voice cut through the room. "You've never said you're sorry. Not once." And that's when Aurelia said the words that sealed her fate. "I'm saying it now, okay? I'm sorry, there. Happy?" Not an apology. A checkbox. Judge Caprio removed his glasses slowly. "That may be the least sincere apology I've heard in 40 years. Aurelia's face flushed red. "What do you want me to do? Cry? Fall on my knees? This wasn't even my fault. He came out of nowhere." The judge's voice stayed level. "You ran a red light at 87 miles per hour while intoxicated. Mr. Reeves had the right of way. Whatever. This whole thing is a joke anyway. My father will—" And then she reached for the coffee cup. Hot coffee. Full cup. Still steaming. Her attorney saw it. Reached out. "Aurelia, don't—" Too late. The cup left her hand in a perfect arc. Coffee exploded across Judge Caprio's robe, his bench, his papers. Steam rising from his sleeve. The courtroom gasped. The bailiff lunged forward, hand on his cuffs. And Judge Frank Caprio didn't move. He just looked at the coffee dripping from his hands. Then he looked at Aurelia, and he said the words that would be viewed 50 million times. "Officer Washington." "Wait." The bailiff froze. Caprio wiped coffee from his fingers, set down his glasses. His voice was almost gentle. "Miss Bancroft, I've been doing this for over 40 years. I've been cursed at, threatened, lied to more times than I can count. I've had people spit at me, throw papers, call me every name you can imagine." He paused. "But I've never had someone throw coffee at me." Another pause. "So I want to thank you." Aurelia blinked. "What?" "I want to thank you, because you just showed this entire courtroom exactly who you are." Silence. 5 seconds. 10. 15. In that silence, $1 billion couldn't buy a single word to say. Judge Caprio leaned forward. "You're 26 years old. You've never faced a real consequence in your life. 2017, you hurt someone. Money made it disappear. 2019, you assaulted someone. Money made it disappear. 2021, you nearly killed someone. Money made it disappear." His voice got quieter, harder. "But money couldn't save Michael Reeves. It can't bring him back to his wife. It can't bring him back to his 3-year-old who thinks daddy's on a trip. It can't bring him back to his baby who will never know his voice. And it certainly won't get you out of this courtroom. Comment justice, if this gave you chills. You just threw hot coffee at an 80-year-old judge because you didn't like what you were hearing. That's not grief. That's not stress. That's the tantrum of someone who's never been told no." He leaned back. "Well, Miss Bancroft. No. No, your money won't fix this. No, your father won't save you. No, you will not walk out of here today. And no, you will not forget September 14th. Because I won't let you. Officer Washington, you may now approach the defendant." Handcuffs clicked around Aurelia's wrists. "You're now charged with felony assault on a judicial officer. Your bail is revoked. You're going to jail. Today." Her father stood up in the gallery, face red. "Your Honor, I must protest." "Sit down, Mr. Bancroft, or you'll join her. And by the way, the DA is filing evidence tampering charges against you this afternoon. They'll be in touch." Montgomery Bancroft sat down hard. Aurelia's voice cracked for the first time. "This isn't fair. I didn't mean to kill him. It was an accident." "The crash may have been an accident," Caprio interrupted. "Though driving 87 miles per hour drunk makes that debatable. But fleeing the scene? That was a choice. The cover-up? A choice. Lying to police? A choice. Throwing coffee at me? A choice. You've had 4 chances to show remorse today. You've shown contempt, entitlement, dismissiveness, violence. That's who you are, and now everyone knows it." 3 weeks later, Aurelia pled guilty. Her father cut a deal on his charges. They stood before Judge Caprio on the same day for sentencing. Montgomery got 2 years for obstruction. No special treatment, no private facility. But Aurelia's sentence, that's the one that made history. For vehicular manslaughter, DUI causing death, fleeing the scene, and assault on a judicial officer. "I sentence you to 12 years in state prison." Aurelia's mother sobbed in the gallery. "Your driver's license is revoked for life. You will never legally drive again. You will pay $2.4 million in restitution to the Reeves family, from your trust fund, not your father's money." But then came the part nobody expected. "Additionally, you will write 1 letter per month to Elena Reeves for the duration of your sentence. These letters will describe your rehabilitation, your reflections on what you've done, your growing understanding of the life you took. Mrs. Reeves can choose to read them or not, but you will write them, and you will mean them. I'll be reviewing random selections. If I determine they're insincere or ghostwritten, your parole will be denied. Furthermore, you are prohibited from accessing family money for anything. No commissary, no legal appeals. If you appeal, you'll use a public defender like everyone else. And finally, You will complete a victim impact course. Not once. Every single year for your entire sentence. Every year, you'll sit with families who've lost loved ones to drunk drivers. Every year, you'll hear their stories. Every year, you'll be reminded of what you did. Aurelia whispered, "I understand." Judge Caprio leaned forward one last time. "I hope you do. Because Sophie and Marcus Reeves are serving a life sentence without their father. Yours is only 12 years. Consider yourself fortunate." 4 years passed. Montgomery served his time. Got out early, changed man. He resigned from every corporate board, sold his company shares, established the Michael Reeves Music Education Foundation, funded it with $50 million, never spoke publicly about his daughter, just worked quietly to honor the man whose death he'd helped cover up. Aurelia's first year in prison. Anger, resentment, complaints. Her letters to Elena were bitter, performative. Judge Caprio noted her lack of progress. Year 2. Something shifted. She started actually listening in victim impact sessions. Heard a mother talk about her son killed by a drunk driver on graduation day. Heard a widower describe getting the call at work. Heard a teenager talk about growing up without her dad. She began seeing faces instead of obstacles. Year 3, her letters changed. Got longer, rawer, more real. One letter, month 37. "I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I just want you to know I finally understand what I took from you. It took me 3 years in this cell to understand what you've lived with every day since September 14th. I think about Sophie. I think about Marcus. I think about the music they'll never hear. I did that. Not bad luck, not an accident. Me." Elena had been reading every letter. The first 24, she never responded. But on month 25, something felt different. She wrote back. 2 sentences. "I still hate what you did. I may never forgive you. But I see you're trying to become human. Keep trying." 2 words changed everything. Keep trying. Those words from the woman whose husband she killed became Aurelia's North Star. Sophie Reeves is 7 now. Plays violin at her dad's old school. In a program funded by an anonymous foundation, Montgomery's guilt money. Her teacher says she has her father's gift. Marcus is 5. Takes piano lessons at a community center Elena helped build with the restitution money. He has no memories of his dad. But sometimes when he plays, Elena swears she sees Michael in the way he moves. The coffee video? 58 million views and counting. You just showed this entire courtroom exactly who you are. That line is taught in law schools, ethics courses, leadership seminars. Judge Caprio still sits on the bench, still wears the coffee-stained robe. Dry cleaners tried 3 times. Stain won't come out. He wears it anyway. To every sentencing, every hearing. When people ask why he doesn't get a new robe, he touches the stain and says, "Some stains remind us why we do this job." This one reminds me justice isn't about being comfortable. It's about being right. He keeps a photograph in his chambers. Michael holding his guitar, Sophie on his lap, baby Marcus in his arms. Elena gave him the original. Beneath it, in his careful handwriting, "This is who we serve. This is why we never bend." 1 cup of coffee exposed what money tried to hide. That some people are taught they're untouchable. That consequences are for other people. That victims are just problems to be solved with the right size check. Until they meet someone who can't be bought. Someone who believes justice means everyone, rich or poor, answers for what they've done. Aurelia Bancroft has 8 more years before she's eligible for parole. Sophie and Marcus have a lifetime without their father. Elena has a lifetime without her husband. And somewhere in Providence, an 80-year-old judge still wears a coffee-stained robe to remind himself why he shows up every day. Because some stains don't wash out, and some truths can't be bought. If this story hit you, drop a comment, share it. Let people know that no amount of money puts you above the law. And if you believe justice should be blind to bank accounts, subscribe. Because this channel tells stories about people who refuse to be silenced, refuse to be bought, and refuse to let the powerful get away with it. Thanks for watching, and remember, your choices have consequences, even if you're a billionaire's daughter, especially if you're a billionaire's daughter.